Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rogers Kaka Sungura YouTube channel. But before I proceed, Kaka, leo nimelia machozi. Nimetembelea familia moja eneo la Bobasi, kaunti ya Kisii, na ni mtoto yatima aliachwa na wazazi akiwa mdogo zaidi. Hata kabla ya kumaliza kunyonya, wazazi wake wote wawili wakaaga. Huyo mtoto amejilelea shida kubwa, lakini Mungu akamjalia akawa mkubwa, ameoa, ako na bibi na watoto. Lakini nyumba wanayoishi, Kaka, ilinitoa machozi. Wanaishi kwa nyumba ambayo ilikuwa jikoni ya wazazi. Hiyo ndio imemlea na amejilea peke yake kama yatima. Kaka, nilipofika pale nikasema Mungu anijalie kwa njia yoyote ile, kupitia kwa mashabiki wangu, huyu yatima tumzawadi nyumba nzuri. Natafuta mabati 30, natafuta misumari, natafuta milango, natafuta dirisha. Kama Mungu atakujalia kupeana chochote, nitashukuru sana na nitarudi pale ili huyu yatima apewe zawadi ya nyumba na Mungu atatubariki. Nirudi katika siasa. I have severally sent a warning, not once, not twice, to the Kenyan government about their move to deploy the Kenya police officers to Haiti. This has been troubling me because the people who are set to be deployed are breadwinners in some families. The people set to be deployed are people who are called fathers in families. The people set to be deployed are people who are called husbands in families. I watched a video of the KDF officer who had perished alongside the CDF Francis Ogola. Kids surrounding the coffin and calling their father, Dad, Dad. They thought the father is asleep. They're trying to open the coffin, just calling their father, Dad, Dad. I really cried. I really shed tears. It's so painful when our father dies. It's so painful. It pains the children. It pains the wife. It pains the community. Kaka, we should understand one thing. Haiti is not Mandera. Haiti is not West Pokot. Haiti is not like Kipia. The gangs we know in this country operating in such areas are our children who have grown. We see them and we know their tactics. But we have totally failed to manage them as a country. Kaka, will these police officers really manage the high voltage Haiti gangs? That is a question maybe that could be answered in few days to come. Today, the Haiti gang leader Jimmy alias Barbecue has vowed to defeat the Kenyan police officers. While he was being interviewed with the US-based National Public Radio today, Jimmy said, let Kenyans prepare to ferry back bodies. He spoke with a lot of confidence and said, if Kenya has decided to send their police officers, let them expect bloodshed. Let them prepare to ferry bodies back home. That is not a light statement. Kaka, he says he is prepared because the battle is set to take long. It's not something that is going to end tomorrow. It's not something that he predicts will end the other day. Says the fight is going to be long and let the police prepare themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, he was speaking and saying, we will fight. We are set to fight until the international forces get tired. We will not surrender. We will not retreat. We are, and they said, his life depends entirely on God and his ancestors. He's not scared of dying. He said, even if we die, Haiti will never be free, even if we'll be speaking from the grave. So, he accused the United States of America of instigating the current situation in Haiti. Kaka, you know, as I always say, and let me repeat myself. Developed countries like the United States do not wish developing countries to develop. I repeat myself. Munishi aliimba akasema, akaonya viongozi wa Afrika akasema, dunia yote msiabudu Amerika. He told Africa that, see, do not worship America. That is Munishi who sang. Kenya is entirely worshiping America. You see what Ruto is doing? Is worshiping the United. Ruto is being driven. President is being driven by the, we know, by the IMF. IMF wamefunga nati. Wakisema right, right. Left, left. Back turn and a turn. Forward, wanaenda. So we are under the masses of not our own forces, but we are being propelled by external forces. Our economy as a country is being driven by outside forces. We are not independent as a country. The big question I'm asking Kenyans this evening, Kenya police, according to close sources, it indicates that the government is set to deploy those police officers by the end of this month. But my question is to people who are listening and watching me. When you listen to Jimmy, the gang leader, the way he speaks, the way he's prepared, and the way they are fought in Haiti, the big question is, will our officers come back from the mission? Kaka, you know, Haiti, those who have read the history, is a fight between the hustlers and the dynasty. The same that was introduced by the Kenya Kwanza. And I warned, it is a very dangerous narrative. When the poor thinks, the rich stole from them. When the rich thinks, the poor doesn't deserve to live. It's a very dangerous slogan. This is what has entirely affected Haiti. The gangs have branded themselves as the poor, the hustlers, watu ya chini, watu ya mkokoteni, watu ya wheelbarrow, mama mboga. Wanasema wao ni watu ya chini. And now, they are up in arms, fighting the rich, who they say sponsored the situation that is happening currently in Haiti. If Kenya we tread towards that line, we are going to be like Haiti. But I'm gonna ask you questions. Are our police officers going to come back? We shall answer those questions in few months, or few years to come. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen. See you in the next video. Asanteni sana.